Greetings, people of the internet. This is Brad, actually. I always get that pop-up. It tells me it's not working. I'm Bradu. And I've been watching too many Scott Serkland videos. I've been watching his 100 Days of Comics. And he is one of the topics I was going to talk about today. So first, a little overview. This is gonna be kind of a show and tell episode. I'm gonna show some goodies I picked up at my first Comic-Con I went to a couple weeks ago, and I've done a couple art trades in the last month or so, and so I'm gonna just show you some new good stuff. So I mentioned Scott Serkland. I'll go with that first. Scott Serkland is writing and drawing and everything else his own comic called Young and the Dead. I picked it up a month ago or so. He's got two issues so far, and I really think it's awesome. In my past I have not been a comic book reader. I'm a comic book fan and a nerd and all that jazz, but I've never really read many comics. So I just wanted to get it to support him and see what he's doing, kind of. And I didn't expect to be like, oh man, I love this. No offense, it wasn't because of that. It was just because don't generally read comics. He calls it Goonies meets Night of the Living Dead type of kids versus zombies is the story, and it's set in the 80s, and I think that's the catch for me that I really like because I'm. We're a child of the same time period, and so you look through, and there's like an Atari here, Rubik's Cube, things like that in the background that make it really neat. And it's a cool story, and I've always loved all those like kids, Lost Boys or anything where it's like kids. It doesn't even have to be horror themed, just I always like those movies about kids in high school, or I don't know, where kids are the main characters. And so yeah, totally dig it and recommend you check him out. Scott Serkland at Serkworks. And I should tell him this, but I'll just say it on the video. One suggestion I was gonna make is really play up the 80s. The lingo and talk of the time period could be kind of fun. Radical and cowabunga, and maybe throw in like a no doy. No duh. I don't know. That could be kind of neat. Anyway, that's one of the things I've picked up that's really cool. Let's see. What would be the next? A good segue. I'll go towards the art trades. I've been doing a newish thing where I trade with other artists on a lot of it's Instagram. There seems to be a lot of people on there that like to trade. Most of them trade originals, and it's like, here's what I want you to draw. What do you want me to draw? Type of thing. And I always feel a little bit awkward about this. I don't really have time to do that sort of thing. At the same time, I want to do trades. I want to pick up cool cards from other artists and stuff like that. But because of my schedule and the art that I'm working on that I have to put most of my time into, I just can't really do it that way. So I do like, sometimes I've done mostly Star Wars, but sometimes I just do like some quicker sketches. Here's a couple Labyrinth ones. Those are the type of things I trade, things that maybe I didn't spend as long on, and they were just kind of a warm-up sketch type of thing. And I hope I don't come across as being, I don't know. Like I said, I always feel a little awkward. I don't expect another artist to spend 2 hours on something and then trade for. I like this one. This is one of my favorites. All of these are the type of stuff I'm gonna trade, not the full color Copic marker ones that I've slaved over. I have to sell those. It's kind of how I feel. Anyway, if you're an artist doing sketch cards and would like to trade for something like that and just whip me up a quick sketch or offer me up something you've got lying around, that's what works best. I mean, that's how I look at it. I've got these done already. I didn't necessarily do them specifically for anything, just more like a warm-up, and still a sketch card, bringing the sketch back into sketch cards, right? You know, over the years it's evolved into mini masterpieces, but it used to be sketchy. Anyway, I love trading, so I picked up some awesome stuff in trades with other artists. Just done a few. This is a guy, Mo Art. He's Mo Art on Instagram. He did a Boba Fett. I thought that was pretty sweet. And he threw in a bunch of extra stuff. So this isn't actually a sketch card. This is, I just kind of made it into a sketch card because that's what my collection is. Oh, I'm going to jack it up here. But anyway, this is just a little, just that. And I just put a white background there. Threw it in a top loader so that I could call it put it in with my card collection, right? And he threw in a bunch of stuff from other artists. Like this is another artist I'm friends with on there, Chip Palmer. But that was just a throw-in from Mo's trade. This guy, what is his, I don't remember his first name. It's L. Davies. He did a few Star Wars ones. See how these are like right in line with what I did, even some of the same. Ooh, some glare because of the, those are rad, you know, little radical little pencil sketches. And this was Kansas Geek Man, Ben, I shouldn't have started to say that. Abusada, is that it? Something like that. Oh, he wrote me a note on the back. Awesome. So see, those are rad. Probably didn't take him forever, but they look totally cool. They actually look kind of similar to some of what I've done for Star Wars, because you got to kind of, I don't know what I'm trying to say. And then I actually like, oops, I'll lose them all. I like trading for prints whenever possible, but not that many artists have prints. But I've got my MMA print set, 100 whatever cards, most of it's MMA, a couple non-sports ones. But I also have my a non-sports set that I just had printed up. They're probably not even printed up yet. They're probably in production. I should have them in a week or two. And I'm looking forward to trading some of those. But here's some stuff I did trade prints with other artists. This is Melanie Yvonne. She did Tom Cruise, Legend. She did a couple Pirates of the Caribbean style ones. These are pretty awesome, you know. And I don't think she's like, actually a lot of the Instagram one, I don't think any of these guys do anything for card sets or anything like that. They just do it for fun. And it's like, you guys got to get your dip your toes in the water. Any of them could be doing art for sets. This is an awesome set I just got from James Michael Smith, one of my artist buddies. He's another MMA fan. And I think that's the first time he's printed up sketch cards of his. He sent me some, I should have shown the other ones. He sent me some sketch cards that were blown up to a postcard size. I collect sketch cards, so to me I like that way better. And in fact, that will bring me right into Comic-Con. So last weekend, so about a week and a half ago now, I went to Comic-Con, Rose City Comic-Con 15. I've never been to a con. It was pretty overwhelming experience walking in, seeing everybody dressed up. Here's the program. And all that. And so I didn't even know what I was really doing. I brought a bunch of cards to trade and to show other artists my work and stuff, but I don't think I actually had anybody thumb through my stuff. It's like I would talk to somebody and then they'd go, here's one of my cards. You like Game of Thrones? You like UFC? I put on my nerd voice to fit in better there, but that's not really how I talk. So I kind of went at it with this, like I was just on the lookout for sketch cards, for the most part. And so I'm looking at the artist tables, just like, is there anything that resembles a sketch card? And if there was, I'd pick it up. Hellboy, this is actually a sticker. That's going in my sketch card collection for sure. These were Blood and Gourd. a little set of 6 cards. These are not sketch cards. These are larger, I'm sure. But it was like, I want to say it was like $2 for the set or something. So I grabbed them. Thought, cool, it'll be part of the experience. Business cards I just would grab if they were, that's like a sketch card. So I was like, all right, I'll grab it for my collection. A magnet. Wicket. Wicket! That's pretty rad. He had a bunch of those. I wasn't really looking to spend a ton of money. I was looking to get a good sampling of stuff from other artists. And so that, oh yeah, actually, here's a couple more business cards that were, who was this? Hayden Davis. This one I think is a sketch. This one I think is a sketch card printed on his business card. This one might be too, but what tells me it probably isn't is his signature is much smaller. So this is probably a larger original, which is fine. I'm just like I'm all about the sketch cards. This was a sketch card print. I think that was $1 or something. And I maybe could have grabbed a bunch of those. In hindsight, there was a set of 10 or something. I wasn't really looking to spend a lot, like I said, so I just grabbed my favorite and kept moving on. There were a couple artists I sat and chatted with a little bit more. Big Dave. This guy's also in Portland, and he had a handful, maybe 9 sketch cards there, so I picked out my favorite for $5 each. Just thought, awesome. And this was one of the real high points for me, and I got a little fun little background story with this too. That's me. So this guy was offering zombie you up for $10 or whatever, and I was like, awesome. And I wanted to see him draw. Thought it'd be fun if he drew me, so I paid him $10, and he snapped a quick picture of me, is what he did. I thought that he was going to probably do it like looking at me. But I was expecting some quick sketch, and he was like, why don't you walk around and come back in an hour or so and, see where I am. And so this is a way more thorough, complete, a little bit up there, sketch than I expected to get. I think it's pretty awesome. It has a comic-y type feel. Is there a great likeness? No, but who cares? It's not about that. It's about the, adding a bunch of gore to it. And obviously, like right now, I just shaved everything off. But when I was at Comic-Con, I had a big red beard and hair and stuff. So anyway, the story about that is, I thought it was really cool. I sat and talked to the guy for a while. And I probably should have bought, he was at a table for his company or something, and they were based out of Seattle. And in hindsight, I wished I had bought, there was one that was like Kids versus Vampires. And I was like, well, I really loved Scott Serklin's. I probably should have just grabbed that. And I don't know if I was like, I'll come back to it, if I don't find something else I want to spend my money on or what. But I didn't end up getting it, and I kind of regretted it. The other thing is I got home, and I'm flipping through I was picking up business cards and flyers and all kinds of stuff. And I got home, and I'm trying to figure out who drew this. And I didn't get a card of his or anything. And I was like, that sucks. And I looked through the program to try and find his name, because I remembered, I think it's Travis. It's TB, so I think it's Travis. But there was no Travis in the program, and then I realized it was probably under his company's name, and I wouldn't ever be able to remember what the heck that was. So I was like, man, screw it. And then about a week later, so a few days ago, I'm on Instagram, and I looked up the hashtag sketch card. And I'm flipping through, and sure as shit, there I am. And I'm like, whoa, that's me. He had posted it on Instagram, and I found it just randomly. And so I was able to, follow him and contact him or whatever. I still don't remember his name, and I don't know what his username on there was. I wish I would have done that so I could plug him a little better. But anyway, that was a really cool experience. $10 well spent, in my opinion. I'm a cheapskate. As an artist who charges $50 or more for sketch cards of my own. I'm not willing to shell out more than $5 or $10 for somebody else's. And that's just because I have to look at it as I'm trying to make money here, but I still want to collect. So that's why trading is a good option. That's why I'm not looking for every card in my collection to have to be a masterpiece or something I would frame. I just think they're awesome to collect. So that was really neat. Another one of the cool experiences I had at Comic-Con is I only found out about, I think it was, Comic-Con was Saturday, Sunday. I found out about it Friday. I hadn't even heard about it. I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be right here in Portland. I got to at least go check this out. And then I looked up the artist list, and I recognized one name on there, Ashley Popplewell. You guys, she's funny. She's a really good artist, and I've been Facebook friends with her for a long time. Though I don't know that she would have really known who I was if I didn't point out, like, hey, I'm gonna be at Comic-Con. I'll come see you. But anyway, I had a really good time with her. We talked and griped about card companies and all the crap you got to go through sometimes with them. But you know how awesome it is to see your work ultimately on a trading card. So we had a good talk, and I grabbed a few things from her. She didn't have any sketch card prints, but this is close. These are bookmarks. And the images on some of them are from sketch cards. Like, she pointed out which ones. Now, ironically, so these are, let's see how close. And if I cut this bookmark in half, it's 2 sketch cards. That's probably what I'm going to do. Ironically, these are the ones, the Guardians of the Galaxy, that I think are not actual sketch cards. Yet these ones are, but they're too tiny to cut up. I don't know. Maybe I'll cut it. Maybe I'll still cut it and have 2 doubles. That'd be neat. And this one is going to stay a bookmark. And again, I probably could have grabbed all of them, but I just wasn't really thinking like that. And I was trying to save my money in case I found something. So I was just picking up a little bit here and a little bit there. But Ashley was really cool. We might do an art trade. She said she wanted something from Labyrinth, so I'm thinking I might just work it into when I need a break from client work, which has become a bad word in the art videos that I've watched. Boy, this is going on forever. Thought I could do this in 10 minutes. No way. The other really cool experience I had at Comic-Con was meeting Nate Quarry. I have met him before, but it was many years ago. And he is a zombie cage fighter. So I picked up his comic. He actually gave this to me, which was really cool. I'll get to why. And he signed it. And I read this. It's a neat story. It's basically about him in a fantasy world where he's retired from fighting and gets hired on to fight zombies. Pretty neat. And so he's got another, so there's I basically think he came up with the story and then told it, to the artist and the writer, and they helped him get the book put together. Anyway, the other thing I did with him, and part of the reason I wanted to go there, is he was in my MMA card set. These are not sketch cards. This was a larger image that was shrunk down. But anyway, I took these in to get him signed. So he signed 5 for me, and I left him with a stack of, 15 or 20. So it was kind of a trade-off in my mind. I probably should have asked for him to sign more, but I didn't want to seem greedy. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do with those. My Series 1, I had a good in with Team Quest at the time. He was on Team Quest. And so there were like 8 or 10 guys, even like Randy Couture and Dan Henderson, that I got to sign 5 or 10 cards each. And so I was randomly giving those out anytime somebody would buy something from me. But it was cool because I had a bunch of fighters. And that was my goal with this one. But just everything has changed, and the UFC is blown up now, and all those guys are kind of thought of as celebrities. So it's not so easy to just be like, here, will you sign a stack of things for me? Since I kind of knew him from before, I think he was a little more willing to do it, and I traded him. But I don't know. I don't want to open up this can of worms of having a fighter ask to try and charge me for their autograph or something, and I'm not going to try and sell them individually or anything like that. So I just haven't really figured out where I'm going to go with that. But I've got a few. I'll for sure keep one, and the other 4 will eventually go in some kind of a giveaway or something like that. Maybe I can eventually get some more autographs. I got to go to a UFC. I haven't been in years. Got to go to a UFC and go the day before to the weigh-ins and take some stuff and catch some fighters. Is that all I have to say about that? Yeah. I picked up a couple stickers. I was almost thinking about cutting out my day pass to put in my card collection. Business cards, pretty awesome stuff. Might be all I have to say. This one cracked me up. Space mullet. I was really on the lookout for freebies. So I did pick up a couple. Oh, Copic was there. I wasn't expecting that. I don't know why. But that was kind of cool. And I gave them a couple of my cards, actually. And one of the guys there was asking me questions and seemed pretty impressed with my cards. And yeah, that's it. So I've been picking up a bunch of cool stuff, adding to my collection. I've got 1 or 2 other trades in the works with Instagram folks, and like I said, I'll have my non-sports set. It's going to be 18 cards. A lot of it is the stuff I've done recently on black with colored pencils. About half that and half Copic work. There's a bunch of comic ones, X-Men, Hellboy, a couple horror ones. Had I known I was going to get these done before Halloween, I would have added in more horror. But I didn't realize it was going to come together so quickly. I got to give a shout out to Ken Armstrong. He is my designer, so he designed the card backs and everything, and that's a big help for me. He did my first series or my second series, I guess. I'm calling this series 3, and I'll just keep up with the series. Next series will be maybe mixed sports, because I've got a bunch more work I want to get printed up. But I'm going through a different company this time, and it'll be kind of a trial run. So my hope is in a week or 10 days, I will have those in hand and have some awesome prints to start trading. I'll also be doing, if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram or any of those, I'll try and make this, I'll really spam the heck out of this because I want to do this. But I'm going to do an offer when I first get them that if you send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, I will send a few samples free other than the price of postage. So anyway, keep a lookout. All right. Good chatting with you guys. And, last story about Comic-Con. My shirt, Monkey Mod. This is local artist Kevin Cross. I still haven't met him, but I've been online, on Artcasts with him and talked with him before. I picked up his shirt, several months ago. I thought it was pretty rad, and I know a fair amount about his comic, but haven't read any of his comics. But the Monkey Mod and Friends show. I wore this shirt just thinking it'd be kind of cool to, show off the local artist thing. And it was kind of neat because 2 or 3 people came up to me and were like, oh yeah, Monkey Mod, Kevin Cross, I know that. So I thought that was kind of cool. He might like to hear that. I should tell him. Or maybe he'll watch this. I don't know. He's probably going to turn it off after 3 minutes. This is 24 minutes. Whew. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Check back. I'll be doing more videos, I think, again. Not daily like I did for 100 days, but, you know, more, sort of. Not sure. Yeah. All right. See you guys. Later. I'm Bradu.